Hi, I'm the Miserable Gamer and welcome back to Gold Rush the game. Now, I've done the first phase for the tutorial, which was to get you up and running in the best way possible. Now, I've been playing around with how to proceed because the in-game tiered tutorial now disregards everything you've done so far and moves on to using an excavator and the mobile wash plant. But as you come out of the first tutorial, you will not have enough money to do that. The only way you can proceed is by either going back and continuing with the rigmarole, that real grindiness of the panning, of the digging and the panning, or we can do a little bit now which will set us up for phase 3. Now this phase 2 sets us up with an automated panning system. Alright, so we're still using the spade and the shovel and the setup and the pump we've already got with the double trough. But this sets us up with a magnetite separator and the wave table. So that basically eliminates us having to do any manual panning and you get the most money you can. I've just run through this and I found that I was achieving between an ounce and a half of gold through each run. So that's around £1,000 to £1,500, $1,000 to $1,500, sorry, we're in the wrong country, per run. Now this will cost you 10,000 to set up. So if you did run across the big nugget and you end up with money I've got now, you'll have about 30,000 left. That's enough to buy the excavator, but not enough to buy the mobile wash table, the mobile wash thing. I can't remember what it's called. You need the excavator and the mobile wash thing, plus a lot of other things to get you to that point. But at the end of that, you still have to go back to panning, which is your bottleneck. So I think that this way, setting you up with the wave table, as much as it takes away a lot of your money, it does automate a lot of the stuff which can still be used again in the future. So what we're going to set up is a processing camp, which will serve us in the future. Okay, so I will again put a shopping list on the screen up right now. We'll go through and buy all the things that we need to buy. One of the things we will need to buy to make things easier is the small trailer, because there's 2 large things that we've got to get over there, and trying to squeeze it in the back of the truck is an absolute nightmare. So one of the things we will be buying is the small trailer, which is this here. We don't need the large. There's not a huge amount of difference between the small and the large one, so we'll just go for the small one for now. And then of course there is the wave table, which is that's the biggest cost. That's 6,000, and then the magnetite separator. So buy those 3 things and then go and load them up into the trailer. That's your biggest cost. Okay, so switch a light on. Sorry, it's night time at the moment. Why the table ends up that way round, I do not know. There's the trailer, you can just about see it there. And we're going to drop that, if we can, into there. And then the mag set will just fit in the front there, I think. Oh, it's a nightmare trying to get this stuff in. Right, this magnetite separator is a real pain. You'll be knocking it over. When you put it down, it's really unstable, so don't go near it. When you have to approach it very, very carefully. And we'll try and... Oh. We're going to drop into there. I think that's going to stay on there. When I pulled the trailer over to the claim before, the magnetite separator actually jumped out the trailer as I pulled into the claims. I think there's like an object lock. When you leave a certain area, the stuff in your trailer and the back of your pickup truck gets locked in, but when you arrive at the claim it releases it again, and the magnetite separator went flying. So if you get there and you haven't got your mag set, just wander back, walk back down the way you drove in, and it's probably there. Right. So the next thing we need is we need another pump. We need one of those. We need a mobile generator. One of those. We need a fat water hose. We need 2 thin water hoses. We need 2 yellow rope power rope thin. We need 2 of those. And we need another water filter, which are free. I believe that is everything. Then we need more fuel. Now, I would recommend getting a couple of these at least, because you're running 3 fuel tanks now. So I'm actually going to get 3 of those, and then we pay for all of that. Then we got the fun of loading it into the truck, and I know how much you love this bit. So big things in first. What I found is if you do a running jump from a distance, that it helps you get in. Now you want to put the generator in first and try and get that in the middle, in between the axles. That's where it sits the best. And then the water pump can fit at the back there like that. Okay, I'll load up the rest of this and I'll come back to you. Right, so I'm just loading up the last thing here. That's all settling. I've remembered to put the fuel tanks at the back this time because we need to get in and out of those. And what I've also done is powered up my Xbox controller, and this makes driving a hell of a lot easier. So stalled it. Right, so you can get into the rear view. Now when you're hooking up a trailer, what you need to do, maneuver around. You need to maneuver it until the tow bar on the truck goes yellow. Now it's very dark at the moment, I'm afraid. It will help to see when the there you go, see it went yellow then? Right, so hit your handbrake there and then jump out, leave the truck running. And then what you want to do is there's a little handle that appears. You see that just above the yellow tow bar? That's the handle of the trailer. So you want to highlight that, click it, and it'll move the trailer in position. Right, now we need to go down and get some fuel. Obviously be wary going around corners when you're pulling the trailer. You don't want to get hooked up on things. See, the magnetite separator is nice and solid in the back there at the moment. That's fine. I said it's when you arrive at the claim and it just went absolutely nuts. Right, I'm just going to leave it there. Right, I'll turn my torch on again so I can actually see what I'm doing. We'll grab the fuel cans out and just pop them over this side. Make it easy for ourselves. Come on. Now there is a big trailer with more fuel on it if you want, but it's quite expensive and it's going to cost you a fortune to fill that up. So at the moment we'll be just sticking with these. Okay, let's chuck these back in the truck. So I just realised I had the volume down. Right, close that up. Now when you're pulling out of here, there's not enough room, but I've managed to pull around whatever's there without any problems, so just pull away. Okay, and I will see you at the claim. And that magnetite separator's just gone flying out. So you really got to watch that. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with that mag separator because it just does not. It's just not stable. See it flying around now. Everything else seems to stay in except it's out again. No, it's in there. Yeah, it's when I got round here and it literally went flying up in the air. Right, we're going to be setting up in this little spot here. So we'll move around here. Oh. But what I will do is I will go and have a sleep, and so it's nice and light for you. Alright, so I'll see you in a moment. Alright, so here we are, it's daytime, and we're just going to unload this. I'm going to put the wavetable over this side. Make sure you've got room to get down the side, and then the magsep. As I said, you do not want to get near this thing when it's set up because you will just tip it over. So set it up about there, giving yourself room to set. We'll set up the generator and the pump in the middle. Right, I will just unload all this stuff and I'll pick it up in a moment. Right, I was just getting the water pump out the back of the car. The truck flew up in the air, reappeared down there. My bonnet's gone. I think the bonnet's down here. Yeah. I don't know if I can refit this. Doesn't look like it. Brilliant. Right, anyway, so we want to put the water pump over this side with the inlet facing that way. Oh no. I left my filter in the back of the truck. Where's my filter gone? Is that it? Is that it? Oh, thank God for that. I thought I was going to have to go all the way back to town for a new filter. This game. This game will drive you insane. Right, so I'm going to run the hose from there. We've got to run it all the way around here, and we can just about tuck it in there, like that. Like that. Then you want to grab your filter. Where did I put the filter? I do like the way the hoses run in this. Right, that should be enough. Let's grab a fuel. Right, now we need one of the small hoses. How did that end up over there? God damn it. That is not how I left it. This game is getting more and more glitchy. Right, so that's the inlet. And we're going to go from this outlet here. Run your hose through the brush here, around the side, and into there. And then your other one. Make sure you trail it a couple of times, otherwise it tends to string right across and create a trip hazard. Sounds stupid, but it happens. Right, and then the Jenny can go there. Now what you want to do, because the problem is the generators have 2 blue outputs and 1 yellow. Yellow being the low ampage and the blue being the high ampage. To me it should be the other way around. There should be 2 lows and 1 high, because there's a lot more low voltage stuff, low rated stuff than there is high rated. But you want to go from this end and you want to trail this around here and then lay that on the floor, because what we're going to do is we are going to flip between one and the other, because we don't need to run both tables at the same time. So once we'll use the mag set and then we will use the wave table. Right, so there's a clear definition there of which one is which, so that's fine. So our hoses are set up, power's set up. Now we just need to put some fuel in the tanks. Now this one you have to open the lid on. And refuel that. Yeet, no, don't. Glitchy, glitchy, glitchy. Trying to close the lid. Just want to close the lid. Not going to let me close the lid. Never mind. Leave it open. Right, so we've got a green drip on the pump, so that means the water's working and it's going to work fine. Now what is an absolute pain is later on, when you want to get water over there where the main pay dirt is and you start using the excavator, the red hoses only stretch so far. Now I thought you'd be able to do red hose to red hose, yeah, and link hoses up. So you stretch the hose out to its maximum length, stick another one on. No, what you have to do is you have to daisy chain pumps. So you go from filter, red hose, pump, red hose, pump, red hose, pump, until you get to where you want the water to actually be. You can't just do one pump. So to get over there will take about 3 pumps and what, 1, 2, 3 hoses. Yeah, 3 hoses, 3 pumps and a filter just to get water over there. Insane. They should have done it so you can connect the red hose to red hose. because you can connect the powers up because you've got the power connectors. So you can extend power, but you can't extend the red hose. Right, let's see if that works. That's working. And that's working. Right. Now, we've got the fun bit. Got to go find our buckets. I think we've got one bucket over there. So we need to take one bucket from here. And we've got to put this under the mag separator. And you want to grab the other bucket. Put it under the other output. Now that's gold. That'll be gold concentrate and dirt. Okay. The gold is what we'll be putting through the wavetable. So then grab your other bucket. So you're going to want 2 buckets over here. Okay. Both full of water. Oh, that was already full of water. Don't know how. Right. So you do the same thing you did before. You shovel. And you keep shoveling. And you keep shoveling until each one of these is 100%. So that's running. Switch to your shovel. That's the comma and period keys. And you start shoveling. Now I will come back to you once I've done this. Right, halfway there. Yay! Right. I'm going to shut that pump off so I can talk because it's really loud. Right. Okay. So that took me probably about 20 minutes real time of actual shoveling. Now, based upon the amount of shoveling that I've just had to do, I reckon there's probably about $5,000 to $6,000 worth of pay dirt in there. Okay, so what you do now is take each mat and you dunk it twice in each bucket. Once, twice, and then put it back. Once, twice. And then to the fresh bucket, once, twice. Once, twice. Right, now we move our buckets over to the processing area. And I'll come back to you once I've done that. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is plug in the magnesite separator. That goes in there, and then you want to power on. Power on. And you want to come around here and press the left-hand red button to start the table. And you take your first bucket. Pour it in the top. Now that will fill the gold bucket right up. Okay? So then you take your gold bucket and put it over near the wavetable. Then you take the bucket you pulled in the top and put it underneath. Then take your other pay dirt and process that lot. Right, then you can turn the magnetite separator off. And you take your bucket. So you've got your 2 buckets of refined finings. Now we unplug the magnetite separator and you plug in the wavetable. You turn the wavetable on there and then you come around this side and there's a red lever. You open that up and that will start the water flowing. You take your buckets and you pour that in the top. Now you'll see the gold up the top right hand corner instantly start to increase. Now we should get about 0.4 to 0.5 ounces out of each bucket. Oh, that's a good one. 0.64, 65, 67, 68, 69, 71, 72. 0.72 ounces. That's pretty good. So that's about $720. So let's process the second bucket. So 0.124, 0.126, 0.7, 0.32, 0.34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 0.14, 0.42, 44, 0.46. So 1.46, just short of 1.5 ounces. So there's about 1,500 there. Let me just shuttle this off. So noisy. Right, so there's about 15 ounces there, about $1,500 there. So you need to keep on doing that until you've earned enough money, and we'll go to the blacksmiths in a minute, and we will go and process that and see exactly how much money we're going to get for it. So I'll drive over to the blacksmiths and I'll see you there. Okay, so we're over the blacksmiths with our 1.46 ounces, and let's see how much we're going to get. So that's 1,413.82. Bearing in mind the phase 3 needs a minimum of $43,000. So we're about 12. We're about 12,000 short. So yeah, so it's up to you whether you go down this road or you go straight to the wash plant. But the area of pay dirt that we were just shoveling, there is no way of processing that without shoveling it. You have to shovel all of that pay dirt. But by my estimations, there's not enough pay dirt in that hole unless there's another large nugget in there to give you a boost. There's not enough pay dirt there to get you the money that you need to be able to buy everything that we need to be able to buy. So you'd have to get a loan or something like that. Yeah, so it's up to you whether you go this way or just jump straight to phase 3 or do a combination of phase 2 and phase 3. Alright, so I hope you find that useful. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you did. It means a huge amount to me. Enables notifications with the little bell icon to make sure you get informed of new videos that I put out. And you can find me on Twitter. I'm at miserable_gamer, and Facebook is /miserablegamer, all one word. And leave me a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on this process. You know, should we just go to phase 3 and skip phase 2, or or what? Yeah. So thanks again for watching. Sorry, I had a brain fart there for a moment. Thanks very much for watching. I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye bye.